Remember this, he went on, remember it forever. Engrave it into your minds. You are at Auschwitz, and Auschwitz is not a convalescent home. It's a concentration camp. Here, you have got to work. If not, you will go straight to the furnace, to the crematory. Work or the crematory. The choice is in your hands. Night by Elie Wiesel is the Nobel Peace Prize winning account of a then 15-year-old Jew in 1944 of the horrors of the Holocaust. Of course, most of us have heard about the Holocaust over and over again. You may be thinking, oh, great, another Holocaust book. They're all the same and are supposed to make me pity them. Well, they don't, and I don't care about the Holocaust. However, this story is different. There are a handful of books out there that leave you numb after you finish reading them, letting you sit there in silence just to embrace everything that you've read. This is one of those books. It starts out with Elie in his hometown of Saget, where he is studying the Torah with Moshe the Beadle. Moshe is deported and comes back a few months later with horrible news that nobody will believe. The Gestapo, German police, have been murdering innocent people just for their race or religion. The people of Saget are unfazed as more and more restrictions are placed on them. These restrictions included curfew, a Star of David patch, rations, ghettos, and even most of the ride to the concentration camps themselves in the cattle cars were spent in denial. There they are sorted out by the infamous Dr. Mengele. Ellie's mother and sister go one way, Elie and his father the other. For a part of a second, I glimpsed my mother and my sister moving away to the right. Tzipora held mother's hand. I saw them disappear into the distance. My mother was stroking my sister's fair hair, as though to protect her, while I walked on with my father and the other men. And I did not know that in that place, at that moment, I was parting from my mother and Tzipora forever. Immediately after sorting, they are led towards a flaming pit, marching closer and closer to death itself. Someone began to recite the Kaddish, the prayer for the dead. I do not know if that has ever happened before in the long history of the Jews, that people have ever recited the prayer for the dead for themselves. They are led 2 steps away from their death, showing the enjoyment the SS got from torturing these people. If you think you've ever been truly hungry before, then you're wrong. In the camps, they go through a small serving of black coffee, bread, and soup daily. People are killed for small acts of disobedience, and life is either led in daily fear of going into the gas chambers or thinking about your next meal. They travel from Birkenau to Auschwitz, Auschwitz to Buna, where in Buna they hung a small child. He died extremely slow because the rope wouldn't break his spinal cord right away. Where is God now? And I heard a voice within me answer him. Where is he? Here he is. He is hanging here on this gallows. That night, the soup tasted of corpses. From there, they ran over 50 miles to Gleiwitz in a snowstorm. Imagine that, running 50 miles in the snow with extremely poor clothing and no food, not being able to stop because you'd be killed if you do so. From there, they went on another cattle car to Buchenwald, where 12 of the 100 people in Ellie's car survived. Ellie's father then got extremely ill with dysentery and dies. Elie is left an empty shell of a person, what they call a Muslim. The camp is liberated by the Americans in April, and Elie becomes a free man trapped in a caged mind. Honestly speaking, no words can completely describe this book. I can't do justice to it. I just can't. If asked to rate this book out of 5 stars, I would give it 6. Not because it should procure that amount, but because it earns and deserves it. This book is so much more than an account of the Holocaust. It's a manifestation of the evil within humans. I hope that someday you, too, will experience this book because it's been a life changer for me. Currently, Elie Wiesel is still living, one of the few survivors left. It has become ever so much more important that we learn about these events so we are not doomed to repeat them. I've also read another one of Elie Wiesel's books, A Mad Desire to Dance. That book is up there on my list of possibly the most brilliantly written books ever. I'm going to leave you with probably the most famous quote in the book, also quite possibly one of the most infamous quotes in literature ever. Never shall I forget that night, the first night in camp, which has turned my life into one long night, 7 times cursed and 7 times sealed. Never shall I forget that smoke. Never shall I forget the little faces of the children, whose bodies I saw turned into wreaths of smoke beneath a blue sky. Never shall I forget those flames which consumed my faith forever. Never shall I forget that nocturnal silence which deprived me, for all eternity, of the desire to live. Never shall I forget those moments which murdered my God and my soul and turned my dreams to dust. Never shall I forget these things, even if I am condemned to live as long as God himself. Never.